Welcome back to the Fábio Tabosa Fighters channel. Look, I have a 4-meter hand wrap, okay? So, this video is for all types of hand wraps, right? I'm going to show it from a first-person perspective because it will be better. I'll put a GoPro here and it will be easier for you to see and learn correctly how to put on the hand wrap. One way is simple and easy for putting on the wrap, and the other is a more advanced method to give you better protection with a slightly better wrap, okay? I think it's more professional is the one I use. So I'm going to show 2 different types. So follow along with me because everything will be shown from a first-person view. Let's go. All right. So as we begin, let's go ahead and start with this part right here, as you can see, of your hand wrap, okay? The Velcro fastening section of the wrap, right? Just like this, which is this part here. This is the last part where you'll fasten it, right? So this part here is the first one. Remember, this part here is very important. If you start with this part here, with the seam facing up, your wrap will end up backwards. So let's put it here on the thumb, just so I can show you. If you start like this, right, with this part here facing up, with the seam on top, your wrap will be wrong. You need to start so that it looks like this, with the seam side nicely facing up here. Yes, this part right here, super important. But at the end, I'll explain to you how, when you make a mistake, how to fix it. Look, you're going to pull it here at the wrist and go around 3 times right away. 1, 2, 3, right? 3. Tighten it just enough. It doesn't need to be too tight. Now you're going to pull it toward the pinky finger. Pull it underneath. Here's a detail. You can't make it too tight. Otherwise, it'll be really hard for you to close your hand. You'll end up cutting off your circulation. So it needs to be loose. See? Loose. So I can move my hand inside. Look, loose. So then you're going to wrap it around. Bring it back over the top. Go around the other finger again. See? Loosely. Then go back around the other finger again loosely, right? Now, I don't go around the thumb anymore. I've already wrapped it twice around the thumb. See? Now I'll go down this other side here. Look. Right? And here I'm already going to bring it to the thumb, where I'll wrap it around one more time, doing this on the thumb. Right? When I finish with the thumb here, I go back to the wrist. See? Around the wrist and come back over the top. See what was missing? Look. Now I cover it. And now, yes, I'm going to wrap it 1, 2, and 3 times. 3 turns. Just here on these bones that we have here. Look, just covering these bones here, see? And now, yes, I give it a little tighter pull. And now let's go back to the wrist, where I'm going to make a turn around the wrist and then come back again through the pinky finger. Let's do one more turn. Go underneath, see? Near the thumb, and then back to the wrist again. Do another turn, and repeat this process again. Go through the pinky finger, come back underneath, near the thumb, and go to the wrist. Finish at the wrist, see, just close it off. Now give it a little squeeze at the wrist. There. I closed it, right? Sometimes this will happen. The logo ends up here, right? Or here, but it doesn't matter, okay? That's the least important thing about your hand wrap. What you can do to get the logo to end up here is to do fewer turns here. See? And more turns here. See? Almost, look. Now, the logo ended up on top, you see? So, that's up to you. I prefer to wrap my hand tighter here than to worry about showing the logo on the wrap, okay? So, this is the easiest part, right? This is the easiest way to wrap, where you get more padding down here. When you close your hand, you'll feel that it's thicker, right? And here, like I said, sometimes if you start off wrong, remember what I said at the beginning. Let me go back here, look, to this part here. If you start with the seam facing up, your wrap will end up backwards. Right from the start, if you do it like this, when you get here, when you reach this point, the Velcro will be facing down. And when you try to close it, there won't be any Velcro for you to fasten because you started that way. Remember? So how do you fix it? You're here, right? Then you just give your wrap a turn like this. Look. Boom. Right? When you do that, the Velcro comes back up the right way and you can fasten it, okay? You don't need to undo everything and start over, right? So this is a quicker way for you to fix it. Well, now let's move on to a better, more professional method, which I I prefer you do it this way, right? It's better, a better wrap. I don't really like this one that much. This is just for when you're really in a hurry. Forget about putting your finger here, okay? We won't be using that anymore. We're going to do it like this. We'll hold it here, kind of like making 4 fingers, right? And we'll wrap it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, okay? Making this little cushion here. See? This little cushion right here. And now we're going to place it here, where we need the most protection, okay? Let's place it here carefully. And now comes the trick, which is this part here. You have to do it calmly, right? So it doesn't fall off, you know? So you don't need to press down, just go slowly here and make the first wrap. There you go, see? I've already made the first wrap. Here I can move it, put it wherever I want, protect more where I need to, right? Because it's best to protect these fingers here. Look, these 2 little bones here, you protect them more right here. And now from here, you can see that there's only 1 wrap underneath. From here, we go to the wrist, make a wrap, and soon we'll go over the top. Always, right? Don't stretch it too much, okay? Keep it a bit loose, and now you're going to come back over the top. See, you're just going to do this right here. Look, see, it comes here, goes through the finger, weaves through there, and comes back, right? When it comes back here, we're going to wrap it around the wrist. Now let's go to the index finger, and we're going to do the same thing. Look, just make a little loop here, see? Just make the loop and come back over the top. Look. Put it over the top here, right? Now let's go to the wrist and move on to the last finger that's left. We're going to do the same thing. Just make 1 loop and come back over the top. Now, let's go to the thumb and do the same thing, okay? Back to the wrist. Done. Once you finish this part, you can see there's a strip coming out here, right? We're going over there and we're going to close it up. Look, closed. Now, open your hand and wrap it around once, okay? Now you can tighten it a bit, bring it back, look, bring it back over the top and go to the wrist. Once you get to the wrist, give it a good squeeze. Now really tighten it and finish off at the wrist with whatever is left, okay? You can wrap it around 2 or 3 times there, depending on the length of your bandage, until you close it up, see? Closed. Look how great that is. Here, there will be very little fabric left, right? Very little fabric. This way, you can secure it better and it will protect much better. This method here is the one I like the most. It's the one I use. When you put the glove on here, wow, look at this little mandragon. Great. And here it's protected. It's also firm for punching, right? The impact is solid. Everything is holding in place. Done. This is the best way to put on a bandage.